Welcome back to the Ressies Podcast. This is episode 24. As per usual, we've got Checkers, producer Srey.
Yep.
Jared decided to sit in on this one, so
No one cares.
everyone wave to him.
No,
No one waved to him.
Guys, we're keeping him safe for a
Everyone
really
spit on
big
him.
interview. Come on, guys.
And we have Arie Schoenmaker.
Yes.
No one spit on him.
No, never spit on Arie. Arie, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you boys?
Yeah, doing well. I mean, it's bloody hot in this studio. I'm always sweating up a storm. But
Sweating up under the aircon sometimes though, Willie.
yeah, just a
The
bit too
fan
much.
here is on like level 1. Just turn it up.
I think, someone just crank it up or bring it over here. Sorry. I've got to cool myself down. I'm
some
fucked.
plot. We've lost some plot.
Hey,
this
Checkers,
afternoon.
you went back to Adelaide again. How many times is this in 6 months, man?
73. I don't know.
73.
Give me a band. Get rid of me.
No,
they
but
were
you went
close.
over and you met a few of the Australian players. You dapped them up and you were just
Oh,
like,
I didn't dap anyone. I got this new trick though.
yeah.
All right, so two people can't want you to chat. Arie, you can take note next time you're at St Kilda training. If you get
Yeah.
two people come up, dap the first one up, and if you hit it real clean. So I was like, if you hit the first one, it's like real like crisp noise. The next one, deliberately hit their arm.
Does that make
Just
us,
just like punch the kid.
No, like just like
Belt the
throw the
kid.
worst dap of all time.
is that so they feel like
Feel
shit?
really shit. if you hit the first one crisp, I was hitting the second one real soft. That's my new trick.
That's not right.
So if you get a real soft dap, sorry about that. But yeah, I was doing it heaps on the weekend, so that's just my new party trick.
I'll have to try that out.
Yeah.
Checkers is just waiting for like a set of two kids to run up. He's like, yeah, this is my time.
That's not
Just
right.
smacking kids at Adelaide Oval.
Just throw the softest. I was just throwing the softest hand sometimes. One of them was like this chick. She was like a 40-year-old chick, and her and her husband came up, and I dapped the husband real clean. So then I was like, well, I'm going to keep tradition, and I dapped the chick really soft.
Oh.
So yeah, that's where we're at. That's how Adelaide went.
Moving along, Srey, you've been really crook this week, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man,
how-
I've been under the weather. I've got a sinus infection, so if I sound more nasally than usual, that's why.
Get him out of the studio. I don't want to get
so
sick.
crook that he said no to go into the tennis with you,
Yeah.
Joel. Can you
Right.
elaborate on that?
Oh, Ari, you been to the tennis yet?
Not yet. I
Wait.
tried to go, but yeah, didn't go through with it.
Didn't go through with it. Why's that? Tickets too
I
expensive?
don't think I can withstand 2.5, 3 hours of tennis back and forth.
It's a lot of just sitting there, isn't it? It's just a lot of like patience.
Jarrah and I went on Saturday. Couldn't get a ticket to the big main arena because they're about $2.5 grand. It was
Really?
Well, no, they were like what, $800 or something. Yeah, really
Well, that
expensive.
should be in
and
Jarrah's wheelhouse.
yeah, Jarrah could have
Yeah.
afforded one, but he couldn't get me one. So we went to the tennis, paid the $40, got the shit tickets, and went and watched junior singles.
Oh,
But on Sunday night,
Ryan.
I get a message. Okay, on Sunday night, I get a message. 10 minutes before the Demon War game, hey, I have two $800 tickets right near the fence on Rod Laver Arena. They're premium tickets. Do you want to
snagged
come? Will's in Bendigo, Jarrah's at home, Roger's at the gym, Caden's asleep. Shrey's awake. Shrey, do you want to come to the tennis? I have $800 ticket. I'll get us an Uber right now.
And he said no.
Nah, man.
I just ingested a silly amount of cold and flu tablet, like a nighttime cold and flu tablet.
Yeah, they like knock you out as
And
well.
I was on the edge of falling asleep and never waking up again. Like I'm so crook. Like it was so bad.
but imagine you fell asleep with the tennis. Like that'd be pretty cool.
They would have put me on TV and like made fun of me or something.
yeah.
They'd be like, oh look at this guy watching Domino.
Views.
He's never gone to town. Never invite him ever again.
Far out.
We had the
Yeah.
best seats in the house, and I had a really good time, but Shrey did not come. But something Shrey did do this week, we were playing cricket. Ari, I know that you've done a bit of research on you. You played some cricket in the past. Ever been named 12th man? Have you ever had to carry the drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's the worst. thing
Two-day
ever.
cricket. Was playing like
Oh,
a first grade
nice.
game and
Oh.
went from batting at... I was batting at 6 and opening the bowling, then just dropped back to 8, 9, 10. Average was going down, and then, yeah, you're running water the next week. So.
Yeah, so Shrey had to run water on the weekend.
Yeah.
We're on
And
the
how'd that
field. No, here's how it goes. We're on the field. I think Jarrah might have been bowling at the time, and we're all a bit parched. He's got our parades. He's at fine leg. We're ready to run on if there's a wicket, and we take a wicket, and we turn around waiting for Srey, and Shrey's not running out. He's sitting in a camp chair at fine leg with his girlfriend pashing on.
Oh,
Just sucking the face.
Okay,
Just-
no, Will, can you relax,
Just-
please?
Tongue and everything. So much so everyone in the team is now calling out to Srey, and we couldn't get his attention to come over and run us drinks.
For context, I just watched Will Taylor bowl 7 overs of absolute tribe and go for 5 runs.
None for 5.
Take
Mate,
a wicket, brother! Take a wicket!
If you were there,
He's
I could have.
deflecting. He's deflecting.
Yeah, he's deflecting. He's deflecting.
I was
earlier.
not tonguing on my missus, I was kissing my girlfriend.
on the cheek, on the lips.
On the mouth, Will. I don't know if you know what kissing on the mouth is.
No,
but
no,
I'll
like
do
this,
that
wasn't it?
sometimes. Oh, that's...
I don't know what kissing
Just
is.
slobber.
I've never had
Well,
it.
I didn't play and it's just boring watching Will bowl around running.
Well, it was entertaining watching you kiss.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, well, that's our week.
bit of
Ari, what
something.
have you been up to this week?
This week,
I know you got up to some training this morning.
yeah, had main session this morning, which are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So they're our big days. Starting to hit like 12, anywhere between 12 and 15k now, and then plus gym on top of that. So you go home and you're pretty much, laying on the couch and straight out to sleep. But no, I didn't get up to much on the weekend. Had a quiet one. Went out for dinner. Drove around the boys. Yeah, but it's been me.
So you're running 15Ks. I don't think I've done 15Ks in the whole of 2023.
I was just about to say the same joke, but yeah, I've done nowhere near 15Ks. Are you finding your bearings a bit in Melbourne? Because obviously you're from Tasmania. The big smoke in Melbourne's probably a little bit different to what Tassie's like. Are you finding your feet a bit?
Yeah, starting to find my feet a little bit. I don't need maps anymore to drive around St Kilda
Fuck, must be nice.
area. And I don't have to deal with hook turns either where I'm from. So,
Yeah.
but no, it's just the amount of people really. Like from where I'm from, everyone knows each other. There's like nowhere near like 50,000 living where I live. And then you come over here and there's literally people everywhere, especially when Australian Open's on. Like,
Ooh.
I went for dinner. Yeah, as I said, went for dinner on Chapel Street, and I literally like couldn't even get through like on the footpath. So it's like a lot of people over here, but yeah, it's been fine. So
What have been some of the major differences, you reckon? Because we moved from Adelaide probably 3 months before you moved over. And for me, Kmart and Coles stay open until midnight.
Oh, it's the best thing ever.
In Adelaide, they shut at 5 p.m.
bullshit.
There's no bakeries and there's no chicken and chip shops in Melbourne. Just can't find them.
The haircuts over here, I've tried to go for a couple of haircuts. My man Swicky, the surgeon, cut me last time. But for a haircut, it's like between 60 and like 50 and
I can
70
do
bucks.
for free.
Yeah,
no,
I'd happily
don't-
take that.
Yeah.
Checkers has cut my hair 3 times. I only fucked it once. So actually, it's not too bad. Like, so,
I did wheels.
Good
I
strike rate.
haven't done
You
Jared's
haven't
yet.
You've not touched my hair.
You just hit me
No,
with
I
a
haven't
little
touched your hair.
fade then.
no, it's more of just a real sharp edge.
Well,
Oh,
no, our clippers are broken at home, so it's number 0 or it's nothing.
Yeah, all right.
So you just get a bowl cut or you get nothing. That's
Yeah,
that's
okay.
how it works. But we can invest this in new clippers. Like I'm sure we get doable. Srey shaking his head. He doesn't have money for new clippers,
No,
but I'm sure
can't-
we can
If
scrounge.
I just grow my hair out a little bit, then we'll put a bowl on it and we'll...
I'll tidy her up here. Yeah,
We'll
I
do
reckon.
something
Just
there.
for like round 1, we'll get you
Yeah.
looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
colour look
haircuts. What else? Yeah, there is no like takeaway joints for like just a Bay Marie of like hot chips and
No
stuff
fish
like
and
that.
chip
Like
shops here.
it's
Yeah.
like all coffees.
Nah, there's
and-
fish and chip shops, but they're like
They're
not
high
as
end.
They're
good.
dine in. You don't
yeah,
dine
they're
in.
dine
at fish
in.
and chip
Yeah,
shops.
like you get
It's
it.
like too gourmet. Like
Yeah, I don't
I
like
understand what you say
Yeah, yeah.
about the fish and chip shops because it's completely different to like country Victoria than like Metro Vic, like Melbourne and
Yeah.
everything. Like it's two different things. Because Kmart's in Geelong 24/7.
What?
Yeah,
What?
24/7 Kmart's.
Jesus Christ.
Geelong just gets better and better every time you talk about
Yeah,
it.
we should
mate.
just move there. You've been to Geelong yet, Ari?
I played cricket there.
Yeah.
15s, but I haven't been there since.
Mate,
That's a good trip.
You're all missing out.
When you get a weekend away from the footy, you can visit Lambies and go
Under
to the
it.
24-hour Kmart.
Under our name.
I'll tell you where I've been in Geelong. It's like on the water and it's all caved in. It's like where you can just swim around and stuff. It's
Yeah,
on the beach. You jump off. and
there's the
stuff.
diving board as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Along the
It's like a beach pool.
yeah.
Yeah, like a massive,
So
like
there's-
caged.
So you don't get bit by sharks.
Yeah, it's caged off.
Is that why?
Yeah, it's caged off because there was a shark sighting there once. But then there's like a promenade you can walk around, and then there's a diving board. It's very popular for the Samoans that come and visit, and they're all wearing their rugby shorts, and they just do the biggest bombs. It's
Yeah.
just
Like the Manus.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
whoever can do the biggest
Very
bomb,
impressive.
and then I'd come in and just smash them all because I'm a little bit heavier than most of them. Moving on.
All right, Arie, pick 62, St Kilda. We'll go into it a little bit later about how pick 62 came about. But you have landed at my favourite club, and I should hopefully see a lot of you this year. If, you probably get sick of us eventually coming to Saints trainings, but I'm a big fan of St Kilda. No one else in the room is.
Oh, I like the Saints.
No,
Swing it around. You can't hate the Saints. That's the thing. You can't hate the Saints because they just don't win a lot.
About the Saints.
I'm learning to love the Saints because, as well as Arie, one of the boys I coached back in the day. Yeah, I'm a footy coach, boys. Coached. I didn't coach him, but Angus Hasty.
Angus Hasty.
Yeah,
one of my mates.
He played under the under-18s group that I was seeing over.
So Will was looking after the under-18 Bs and Angus played in the under-18 As.
He was playing seniors that year. He didn't get many games in the 18s because he was too good, but he was under my guidance.
What'd you teach him?
I taught him heaps, running patterns.
How to run away from the footy?
Running patterns, 45s, and how to hit your snaps really clean. And
Off the toilet bowl? Or?
Yeah, both. Both from the pocket, from the toilet bowl.
just anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mate, I'll show you later on. We don't have time to show all the
Coach Tails.
celebrations.
Well, you've landed at St Kilda, but we did bump into each other a little bit earlier before the draft at the Fox Footy longest kick.
And
we
did.
You had a kick. We had a kick. How'd you go?
I was most scared I've ever been, like nervous-wise. And I remember I was one of the first there, and I walked in and I was the only one there and I had my full kit on. And then as soon as you boys walked in and then Daniel Gorringe in his massive Kiss outfit, I kind of chilled out a little bit. But no, I didn't perform too well. And as I've said to you last time, I got the shit pills. So James Sicily and all these big dogs, they've taken the pumped up footies, left us with just shitters. So.
Fucking cruel world,
Mate,
isn't it, man?
it's like taking a kangaroo head around. They were awful.
Well, there's brand new pills all in this bin.
Literally fresh and in the wrapping.
Still in the plastic wrapping. But a couple people had a pump, which is something we didn't know about. So that's where we lost out. Daniel Rich's manager brought the pump.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, you were there early. How early did you get down? Because we were running late. We were so behind time. But you were down there real early.
Oh, when did it start again? Like what time?
Like maybe 10:30.
Yeah, I was there like 9:40, like pretty early.
Watching the crowd build.
Yeah, and it was actually a lot more packed than I thought as well. Like that's when I started getting nervous as well because I've watched it on TV before and I've never seen that many people there watching Longest Kick. They're all Brisbane fans as well.
Yeah, they were because Daniel Rich was kicking. So.
Yeah.
Well, then the Collingwood fans had a pre-show on at Olympic Park, I think. So a lot of the Collingwood fans were tied up there.
There you go, yeah.
But preparations-wise, we were kicking footies every day for 60 days leading in. And we did
I
some
saw
stuff.
some of that, yeah.
Yeah, did some stuff with kicking coaches, like the kicking consultant and Pro Kick Australia. Did you do any prep for Longest Kick?
Nah.
Stretching?
All I did for the Longest Kick was just try and decide with my friends if I was going to kick a barrel or a drop punt. 'Cause I can't barrel the ball, but I can obviously drop punt. So that was my biggest thing. I had the notepad out, studying trajectory, other things like that.
Were you drawing a picture of like your long leg just kicking it and like the marker being like 75 metres or the other side of the arm?
It was more angles work.
Yeah.
It's the way that the foot can. There's different parts of your foot that they call it. There's 1, 2, and 3. And yeah,
I didn't get taught this.
So what part of the foot did you kick? Number 4?
Ankle.
So there you go. That's 3.8. But your toes is your 1, 2's sweet spot, 3 you're kicking off your shin. So yeah, so about that stuff, but just not much practice at all, which is hence why I didn't kick it very far.
How
I think
far
I
did you
beat you
kick?
by about 3 metres. So there you go.
Beat me by 3 metres?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
that's not very good.
How far did you kick?
54.
Yeah, true. Not too bad. And you went the top.
Yeah, went the top, and they both. It didn't even go through spiral. It just was pretty much a banana, like you teach, just rolling punt.
Yeah, just inside outside of the boot.
You said there was you saw us roll in, of course. We had a brief chat, but there was a lot happening. There was so much happening in the tent.
Oh yeah.
And I think when we walked in, the first thing we noticed is Srey's favourite player is Eddie Betts.
Yeah.
And that was the first person we saw, and we brought it up on previous potties that Srey melted.
Yeah.
Eddie's like, Srey, how are ya? Lockley's first goal, and Srey's just like,
just cracked.
Hi, Eddie.
Yeah. There was a period of time I watched every Adelaide Crows home game from like I think it was 2015 to 18, and he was in that team, and I saw him kick like almost all of his goal of the years.
Wow.
It was just mental. So he's my favourite player of all time. I just cracked. I
Who
couldn't
did-
speak to him?
Who did you get to chat to the most in the 10, or who did you? I bounced off Sard, Adam Sard,
I was about to say the
and
same.
he was
like-
giving me heaps.
Yeah, he was.
Heaps.
Yeah, he was really nice. He's with my management group, and just so happens to be with the same manager as
So
I'm
John
with.
Mason?
So John Mason.
It's a good man.
Yeah, he's a legend. So I think Johnny must have sent him a message saying like he's hella nervous. Like go introduce yourself. And yeah, he pretty much spoke to me the whole time. Gave me the time of day.
And I didn't expect it. I didn't
Yeah,
expect
I
it.
didn't-
He was like one of the last I would have expected it
Yes,
from.
so did I.
But
Like,
he knew some of our videos, and he was talking about Carlton. And
Yeah, and he was having a laugh as well. And also Trent Rivers. Yeah, and then there was others I literally didn't.
Fev was in there. Did you come by yourself? Was your family there or anything watching?
My family was there. They were on the other side of the Yarra because I told them I was going to kick it over it. That didn't happen.
Confidence.
So fair.
But yeah, no. So they were watching from the other side. But yeah, mum and dad. So
Yeah, no, it was a pretty cool experience. Definitely a cool experience for us. And I mean, we didn't get to chat too much that day,
No.
but it was a flat chat day. Did you go to the game after, or
I didn't get to. No. I could have bought tickets, but yeah, just rather go watch in a bar in Melbourne,
hang out with the fam?
hang out with the fam. Had a couple of mates over as well. So
Yeah,
just
nice.
caught up with them.
No, it's good. We'll get over to the draft. There was a couple weeks later, probably a month later or so.
Yeah.
You had a few trips back and forth from Melbourne. I know you had to the Foxfield on his kick, and you had to come back for the draft. Did you come back for testing?
Yeah, I had the draft. Yeah,
So there's
AFL draft.
a lot
combine
of
as well.
back and forth from Melbourne. Rumoured to go first round. So I've we've done a bit of research, read the draft profiles on Arie Schoenmaker this afternoon.
We did lots
I've
of
read them
research.
in the past, but I thought I'd better just brush up on them.
Yeah.
Should go top first round, if not top 30, was the write-up. Most of the write-ups, majority of them, 95% of the write-ups
And
I
you
read.
just said that to his face. Fuck.
Yeah, well, no,
He
we
doesn't-
want to talk about it. What
Yeah.
happened? You found yourself on the second night of the draft, and we were watching it, and we were watching the first night, expecting your name to get read out. We were following your story after meeting you at the kick, and
Yeah.
and it didn't get read out. And the second night, we were watching very late in the night to hear your name. And what went on? What was going through your head, and how did your night pan out?
Yeah, well, I had a slip up at the start of the year, which you would have seen in a lot of the articles, and it was I copped a 10-week ban for supplying the boys with a bit of piss after a game. That involved like a couple of my mates who were 18, and then a couple underages, which is why the 10-week ban. A couple 17-year-olds also had a drink as well.
It's highly written about. If anyone wants to look it up, you don't have to come listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
We won't
it's
hone on
everywhere.
it too much.
Yeah.
I did write in the podcast. Ari got 10 weeks for from the Tasmania Devils for his ban for the beers. Prime Train's got 6 weeks in the past for drinking a beer on field. I got 4 weeks one time for headbutting someone, and we gave recently on the podcast Srey a 2-week ban for getting in a relationship. So bans are they're a regular thing that happen to the best of us. So we'll leave it at that. But you did slip up a little bit, and people thought you'd recovered pretty well from it though. You played some strong footy in the back half of the year.
Yeah, I thought obviously it was quite an emotional timed right after it. I thought wasn't playing Coates League footy, wasn't playing for Tassie. I was playing TSL down there, so senior footy, which was actually proved to be pretty good because I was playing against men and bigger bodies. But no, I thought, to be honest, it was all over after it happened. I was like, that's pretty much, there's no real coming back from that. But just, mentally strong, I guess, resilience. Ended up playing some good footy. Was lucky enough to be called up into the Allies, as a late call up. Played a couple of games, and then tested. I thought pretty well in the combine, but I always knew that was going to come back and kind of bite me on the arse. But yeah, so I guess predicted first round, second round. But yeah, can't say I wasn't expecting maybe sliding.
A little
as
bit,
I did. Yeah.
Not quite to pick 62. We're happy about it. You've landed St Kilda. It's worked out well, and you're going to become one of those stories they always talk about. Like Rory Sloane went late in the draft and turned out to be a great player. So hopefully, pick 62, they'll be like, oh, he's a bargain. In 10 years' time, they can look back in that way. What else up? Your draft party. We were watching at home. Okay, so we've had all of us on the lounge. Every pick. I've mentioned it to you before, but every pick we were like, Arie Schoenmaker, surely going now.
Literally every
And it just from about pick 20 to pick 62. But at the same time, we were pretending it was Srey's draft party. So we're sort of acting as if Srey's night.
So pick 18 for St Kilda. Riley Srey got picked up.
Yeah, we went,
and we went nuts for it.
We went live
Wow.
on baseline footy, and there was a bit of a mock-up that went through, and
There
there was
you
a
go.
bit going on. But
Who they actually picked there?
Darcy Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, he's much better
That
than me.
bloke.
Much better than me.
Probably a better runner. I don't know about ball skills though.
Yeah, I'm good
Reckon
with
you'd have
the
him.
footy. With
Well,
the that red thing, good with it.
want to know about your draft party, because I know it's some kids in the past I've spoken to have had these big events and lots of family. Did you have one on the first night? Did you save for the second? Did you have mates over? And when you found yourself sliding, how'd that turn out?
Yeah. So, as I've said, obviously thought I was maybe a chance first night. So, we're pretty lucky. Tassie we don't usually get a lot of people drafted. You know, maybe lucky to have 2 or 3 in recent years. But we had 4 drafted from the same area, Launceston. So we had Colby, James Leake, and Riley Sanders as well, who moved over and played for Sandy. But yeah, the 4 of us who grew up playing footy together, and me, Colby, and Leakey have played junior footy at Launceston since under 9s together. So we've grown up, played footy together, played Devils, played senior footy there. So Launceston had a night to celebrate the first round. Obviously, they were going quite high. And I was also there on the Fox Footy live stream with the boys. So I had family there, a couple boys. But I did tell them that, you know, if we don't go tonight, we've got next night as well. So yeah, had family and had friends over and celebrated those boys on night 1. Went to sleep, obviously pretty nervous. Didn't sleep much at all. Woke up the next day and we didn't have it at the club. We had it back at home on the couch. Set up the Zoom again. Had a couple of beers flowing, bit of pizza. There was a couple of times it crossed over to all the boys on the stream, and we were never in there because we were out either grabbing a beer or grabbing a piece of pizza. Because obviously nothing was going on and I was sliding. But no, I remember. Yeah, it got down to about 40, like mid-40s, and I was like going, haven't heard anything from the manager, like, maybe this isn't going to happen.
Were you hearing anything before that? Like, first night, did you hear much, or did you hear anyone contact you?
Yeah, he mentioned, you know, that it'll be like a bonus if we go first night, but yeah, definitely expecting second night, whether that's, you know, anywhere between 30 to 40 or 45. But then, yeah, so it started sliding down and I started seeing the clubs that have interviewed me and they're taking other people. And then, you know, got down to the very end of the night. I stopped watching. I went out with Mum. All the boys still sticked around, which I was really thankful for. And then, yeah, people started passing. Clubs started passing. I'm going like this, there's no way someone's going to take a chance. Like, and I had no real backup plan either. Probably just go play sample footy or whatnot. So I was thinking the worst. And then I kind of came back I was out hugging with Mum, like pretty much crying, and I've walked back in and we have like big open sliding doors and all the boys are kind of standing around because it's pretty much the end of the night and everyone's about to go home. And then St Kilda come up at 62 and I knew that they were keen, one of the most keen clubs. And they mentioned, you know, maybe taking me first night or you know, so I knew they were keen, so it was our last chance. So the boys kind of put a hush over the room and said, and then they called it out and then literally got spear tackled and it was on from there. Playing the St Kilda song for the rest of the night pretty much.
Straight in the Guernsey and
yeah.
How long did it take to get to the club?
I had Sauce, Stephen Silvani and Misso come down the next morning. Just gave me a training shirt, welcomed me to the club. Obviously said thanks for having me, had that conversation and then talked about when we're going to get into it, and I pretty much moved away for like that 3-week period before Christmas, about 3 or 4 days later I think. So
Crazy,
yeah,
moves so fast.
Yeah, it's pretty quick the turnover. So
Yeah, far out.
Big roller coaster of emotions. You mentioned the Tassie boys, and it was something I thought was pretty rare as well, because in previous years there hasn't been much talent come out of Tassie, but they've been pushing for this stadium. They've been pushing for Tassie to get a stadium, Tassie to get a team. But in recent years, the only top end picks we've really seen, like Chase Jones, Taron Thomas was a academy pick.
yeah.
But this year there was so much high end talent. Do you think that maybe played a bit of a factor, that there was those 3 other boys you mentioned go in the first round, that maybe recruiters were like, maybe we shouldn't pick up all the Tassie boys. There's going to be a stadium in a few years. There's going to be a team in a few years. Maybe is there like that risk factor? They talk about the going home factor when they pick players at WA or
Yeah.
SA.
Well, I guess all the club interviews I had at Combine, that was the most frequently asked question. Like, obviously we've got Tassie coming to the league. How do you feel about that? Would you ever go home? And I guess if you're going to draft 3, maybe me being the 4th, all on night 1, it's a 3-year contract this year, so they're obviously putting a lot into you. And if you want to go home, then there's obviously a little bit of risk there. So maybe.
You said it was highly asked. What were they asking all the recruiters? I'm curious as, because it's something the media didn't really cover, but they're like, on one part the media was really pushing, hey, Tassie's going to get a team, and then on the other part we got all these draftees coming this year. They're probably pretty well lined up. Yeah, we were discussing just before the podcast that the boys would be like 23 to 25 years old when Tassie come into the comp.
Prime for the picking.
Yeah.
No, it was just a bunch of questions. Like, how do you feel about moving over? With Tassie coming in, would you consider going back and playing for them? Would you want to go home to the family? Will that play a part? Just those kind of questions. So, which are quite hard to answer.
How do you find them? I've read people's draft interviews. Did you sit down with all the clubs, or?
Yeah, I had about 14 or 15.
14. So,
yeah.
And I find you ever done a job interview, Willie, and your first ever job interview. How were you feeling before that?
Well, I was applying for Maccas, so pretty cruisy.
You were cruisy, were you?
Yeah, I had a fresh fade going, and
I was shitting my pants. I think I asked my mum to come into my first job interview.
Put on the best Gazman polo, and.
But if you had to go for a job interview now, how would you feel compared to then?
I'd be shitting my dacks.
Are you kidding me? He's the opposite of what anyone would be. That's really
a little bit more confident.
I was going to be like, Arie, the first club you interviewed with, you've probably been like, shit, these are some hard questions. They're pretty hard. But by the time you get to the last one, you would have said it 14 times. You would have had that question.
The whole draft
Never
process.
ask you Willie a question every year, by the way. That was terrible.
I'm a backwards man. I do everything different to everyone else.
The whole draft process is so full on. Like, it starts, obviously you've got clubs looking at prospects or who they're interested in for like 2 years. Obviously I played underage, so did a lot of other boys, so they've got their eye on you if they're interested for like that 2 years there. So they do all their homework, and then it kind of gets around halfway through your draft year, and you start getting calls, you do Zooms, and I remember my first couple Zooms, obviously talk about the 10-week incident, and just assessing game, and I remember just absolutely shitting myself. Like, I'm quite good normally at like public speaking and around people, and I just like Srey and Eddie Betts literally just went to butter. But then by the end of it, like, you start chilling out a bit more and you can find yourself having conversations with them. But yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking early on as well. So
we put in the run sheet today. We wanted to bring it up, but the draft process is something we have never spoken about in the Ressies podcast. You're actually...
We're Ressies. We're never getting drafted.
Yeah, we've had Eddie Betts on the pod, but you are one of our first AFL players, I'd say. Yeah, I reckon you're the first current AFL player at least.
We spoke to Eddie for like 7 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. So it's a process I've never really heard about, and it's something that you sometimes see the article about is those curly questions that you get asked when you're a draftee.
Yeah.
So I've put a few examples in here. Willie, you might read one of these out. The first one, though, Tanner Bruin said, Adelaide asked me how I would get Jai Caldwell out in cricket. These are some really crook questions they asked.
It's a flipper. I think Jai Caldwell was a flipper. You get him around the legs.
Me and Willie were doing some research today. What else did you find, Willie?
If the notes wanted to load up, here we go.
Nice to know you're organised.
Sorry, man.
Really well prepped, man.
Sorry, man.
Send this man back to Maccas.
Elijah Hewitt was asked, how often would you wash your jeans if you wore them once a week?
Oh.
So it's just a bit of like a personality sort of test. Srey, how many times would you wash your jeans?
If I was wearing them once a week and it was on a Saturday and I was having a few cans, I'd wash them afterwards.
You wouldn't. They'd be on your bedroom floor for 3 weeks afterwards.
No, I would
get the missus to wash them.
I'd wash them in the next wash. So when I go to the washing next, I do it the next wash.
True.
But if you're wearing them, let's say, I don't know what you're doing. Say we're in here and I wear my jeans, I wouldn't wash them because I've just sat down. I haven't done anything. If I'm on the cans, I'll probably spill something on them.
Yeah.
True. Bailey Humphrey was asked, this is a good one for the room. I think might get a few smirks. And it could bring up a point of discussion.
Oh, no.
Bailey Humphrey got asked, what traits do you look for in a girlfriend?
Yeah, that's a...
Why am I looking at you, Will?
I can't talk to women.
My favourite one is if she has to be way hotter than you.
But why am I looking at you, Will? You been to Yochi, Ari?
Yeah, apparently that's a dating place. You take all the girls
Yeah.
there.
I went there with the bloke once.
Have you been there recently, Will?
Yeah.
How many times in the last week?
Twice. It's
It's expensive.
I've been
Yeah.
there twice in this week as well.
first, yeah.
Oh,
Yes. So, fucking
you-
someone's
are you-
looking after me.
He's meeting up at Yochi.
Yeah, that's where I've been going. I haven't been going with
okay.
anyone else. I've just
Okay.
been kicking back with Ari. No, I don't know how I feel about Yochi, to be honest. It's
He's on the fence. Actually, you're actually on the. You're a Yochi hater.
yeah. Oh,
You do.
I might have splinters up my arsehole because I'm like on the fence a bit too much, but like it's got some good flavors. But fuck, man, I'm not paying $16 for
Yeah,
it.
it's
We'll
so
clarify
expensive.
This girl has said, "Oh, Yochi was pretty good. It was only $8." He goes, "Yeah, I paid 10 on the first date." Will, what are you expecting to pay for dates these days?
Will, actually, on my first date, I spent $110 on Japanese teppanyaki.
Wow.
110's a bit.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme. Okay,
Bit
we've gone
extreme.
from 10 to 110.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
I
wow.
didn't
It's
realize it
extreme.
was gonna be that expensive. If I'm honest.
Didn't know the marmalade.
Off
account
topic
was
question.
doing
What
that well.
was on topic? What would you think is an acceptable amount to spend on a first date, Ari?
My first date, I spent $200 and something on all these nice things.
AFL pay as well.
Wasn't in the AFL. I just got my mum to transfer me.
Yes! Thank you, brother.
So and I had a little bit of cash left over from Christmas as well. So no, acceptable. I think Yochi.
That's not.
do
I think
the-
it's a budget option.
I think they do the the weighing system. You can put it half on there, half off, and you can actually scam it. Just to let you know. So
That's what Srey does at Coles when he's weighing his fruit
Oh,
and veg.
If Coles is listening, I don't do any stealing or any robbing of Coles. Okay.
I got these
Jeez.
avocados for the price of potatoes.
yeah, I think Yoshi's quite good though. I know a lot of the boys that take their lady friends to Yochi and enjoy Yochi.
There's one flavour that I'll stand by. Strawberry and cream is a good flavour of Yochi, but when they mix around the little
I don't think the AFL
toppings
players
and
get
stuff.
strawberries and cream. They're more like a fruity flavour, I think. They're more getting like
yeah.
mango sorbet, sort of. What else?
Sorry, man, I'm not in the system. I know you got picked up at number 18,
Yeah,
but like I'm not in the system. I don't.
Can I ask with Yochi, do you go fruity? Because there's the fruity options. You've got the mango, the strawberry. You can put strawberries, pineapples, or do you go chocolate?
No, I'm a fruity man.
Yeah, so
He's
am I.
lying.
And
He's
I got the
lying.
piss taken out of me for it because I went fully fruity and
Nah.
laid it up with nice colours. And
Nah, who said that? I'll bash him. Nah, I'm a strawberry, blueberry, and then like there's watermelon bits.
yeah.
Yeah, mate, that fucking. that
Why are
just
we
hits
lying
the
on the
spot.
podcast? Mate, I just I was
Coming
as
to-
shit as possible. Man.
Come on a Yochi date with me then.
We'll
Come
go.
on.
We'll do it tonight.
Yeah,
We'll do it
Ari and
tonight.
I'll
I
go.
want a third wheel. You and your lady friend.
It's Ari. Ari's the friend I'm
We'll
going
go
with.
on a double date. We'll go on a
I
double
don't know
date.
how we got transferred here because we're talking about curly questions at draft. It was a bit of a lead in the segment. I don't know how we ended up talking about Yochi, but we got there.
Yeah.
We got there. It was a plan of mine to eventually bring that up on the podcast, and we got there a lot earlier than I thought we would.
He loves doing that.
But I wanted to bring in draft questions because we're going to play a game. It's game time. And it's a new segment we're going to do each week. I haven't done
like
games for a while on this podcast.
Yeah, I played FIFA last night. If that helps.
Not on the
Turn
podcast,
Shrey's mic
but,
off now.
yeah.
Sorry.
turn it off.
It's game time, all right? Shrey, keep your mouth shut for 60 seconds.
Okay, I'm setting the timer here.
We're going to conduct our own recruiting interview right now for you, Ari. You're the draftee.
Yep.
You've been delisted. You're going to have to get redrafted, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
To the Div 12 Ressies.
Yep.
We're the recruiters.
Yep.
60 seconds. We've got 60 seconds with you. Speed dating top style.
Yep.
And we get to fire questions at you. You ready?
All right. Yeah. Go.
You got to put in your best foot forward.
Yeah.
You want to play for Div 12 Ressies. All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Brett Lee is bowling at you. You have to premeditate a shot because he's bowling so fast and you don't have time to see the ball. What are you premeditating?
Ramp.
Good.
You're playing deal or no deal. What case number are you choosing?
16.
What is 23 plus 39?
62.
Which teammate do you think would match up best against in a game of tennis?
Riley Bonner.
We're playing a game of rock, paper, scissors. What are you going to throw?
Paper.
If you could only use one condiment for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Tomato sauce.
All right. We've run out of questions. You're too quick for us.
Actually, I've got one more question. You've got one teammate that has to pick up the phone, otherwise you die.
Yeah.
So you got one phone call, If they don't pick up, you die. Which one of your teammates are you calling?
Jimmy Webster, Tassie boy, because he know I'd probably been a bit of strife. So I don't
Have you ever called Jimmy Webster?
I've communicated with him a couple of times over text, but I prefer not to because he thinks he's a bit of a prankster. So you got the showers and we've got a bucket of used towels, and I'll come walking in from a meeting or something, and because he's a 13-year veteran, he does pretty much fuck all. So he's already in the change room sitting there, and he's just layers my locker up with dirty towels. And then on my first week, you've got meetings and you've got to be at places at a certain time. You can't be late. And he kept on telling me that, mate, Mark wants you in the physio room. Like, go see him. I'd go knock on the thing. What are you doing here, Arie? Like, do you need something? I'm like, no, I got told I was meant to be here. He's like, no, you're not. He did that to me about 8 times in the first week. And I kept on doing it, kept on knocking on doors, and you're all right, mate?
Because you just want to follow in the veterans, what they're saying, because you don't want to piss
So this is a
anyone off.
note to any future St Kilda draftees. Whatever Jimmy Webster says, don't take seriously. Is that?
Literally. We had a backs meeting today, and he was going around saying, we didn't know he had it because it wasn't on our schedule, and he was going around telling people, like, no, I'm sure we have one. And I literally, people coming to me going, like, is he being serious? I said, I actually can't tell. We did have one, but I was like, there was about 30 minutes there, like in the gym, where didn't know.
The boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Bloody cheeky Jimmy. Fucking.
Well, does he get a gig at the Div 12 Ressies? He's answered the questions really quickly. I thought he would have stumbled on a few of them.
Almost too fast.
He's good at this. It's almost like he's been recruited already.
Yeah.
I'd happily play Div 12 Ressies.
Beautiful.
If it doesn't work out,
I'll give
Hopefully it doesn't land at that point. I think I have to come down that low.
I'll give Sauce a call, see if we can get a clearance for a game, and we'll see how we go.
on Play HQ. Just
Change your name to fill in or something.
What was the curliest question you got asked, or one of the curly ones you can remember from your draft process?
So it was like, I'll say 2. I got one a bit like Bailey Humphrey, but it wasn't about what traits do you see in a girlfriend. It was like, do you have like any friends that are girls? And then the follow-up to that was, what would they say about you? Like, as in, what are your, like, why are you friends? Like, what do you see in each other? Like,
these hot ass.
This is
and I'm
interesting
thinking
one.
if, for example, like if they would interview her, like, what would she say about me? And I was, really caring. Like, but it was a bit weird. Like,
Good
tries
rig.
to root me, takes me to Yoshi.
Loves Yoshi.
so that was really weird, and that was hard to answer. And then there was another one where a lot of us copped it if we had the same club. And I remember after the 2 days, on the third day, we're obviously all speaking about if anyone got any weird questions, and we all kept on coming back to this. And I think Harley's mentioned this before in a podcast or whatnot, but a lot of us got asked to tell our life story in chapters. So, like, as a book, and like chapter 1 would be from when you were a kid to like 8 years old, and then chapter 2's like 8 to 14, and then 14 to now, like all in chapters. And it could be as many chapters as you wanted, as detailed as you wanted. And I can't remember anything from before I was 10. Like, what would I say? So that was the toughest one, like complete mind fuck, really. So yeah, tell your life story in chapters. Like, if I'd put you on the spot and said,
0 to 10, I was kicking the shit out of bushes mostly. Just getting into as much trouble as possible.
From 10 to 16, he was a full-time legend.
Yeah.
16 to 22, then I became CEO of Legends Incorporated. And then that's when we started.
I'm gonna turn his mic off.
That's me drinking beers, guys. But yeah. What about you, Checkman? Yours is a bit more of a novel. It's more of like a Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. 2 parts.
In the one book.
Yeah, 2 parts. Lots of coloured pictures in between.
Pop-up pictures.
Yeah, they come out at you.
Yeah, Professor Snape pops up. We said Harry Potter. I thought it was fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Do you think maybe recruiters ever like just fucked with you? Like, do you reckon there was any clubs that didn't even care to pick you up, but just wanted to just fuck with you, or?
Yeah, I had Port Adelaide interview me, who didn't have a pick when Combine was around, like before draft night, they only had pick 75. And that was their only pick. And they were still interviewing as many blokes as they could. And my interviews were a lot of like character testing to see what kind of character I was, obviously from the incident. So there was a lot of like follow-on questions. Some of them were like really laid back and chill, and I was able to have a conversation. Others were like right on me, like pretty much like seeing how I'd react if someone was like being angry at me or like targeting me kind of thing. So Port just ripped me for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I walked out of there going like,
why did I bother going in there?
Why did they interview me? They're not going to pick me.
Who said? Someone said Sydney just called him fat for ages. Who was it?
Clayton Oliver.
Clayton Oliver said Sydney just called him fat.
Yeah.
Like,
and said you can't handball.
Yeah,
it was the same as me. I had clips. They were showing clips of me not jumping at the footy, going like, "Can't have this. This shit. This is not league standard." And then saying like all this other stuff. Like I was just like had this bloke standing over the top of me, like just looking up at him, just nodding my head, like, and he was just giving it to me. I walked out of there like literally like, what just happened?
Fucking hell.
And then they came and apologised the next day, thankfully, because my manager was gonna say something. But yeah,
wow.
they came and just said sorry. That was just a bit of a test, and like
Just
loved you, mate. Like,
intimidation.
yeah, you
Like,
handled it well.
So strange.
Yeah, but
I
they
don't
do
get
that.
it,
So strange. Do you reckon you could do the opposite? I know you want to get drafted, but if there was a club you didn't want to go to, I know Chad Wingard tried to get out of the draft and told GWS he didn't want to go there. But do you reckon you could just rock up and be a full-time fuckwit? Like, they ask you questions and you just be like...
No, I love
beers.
beer. I love Yochi every night. Yeah, just... I don't train, man.
Yeah.
I reckon, some people have probably thought about doing that if they really don't want to go to.
Maybe when
like
Tassie comes in, a lot of the Melbourne boys
Yeah,
might be
probably
doing
start
that.
doing that. Yeah.
Happened in the NFL recently. One of the players didn't declare for the draft until the team had done one pick, traded it because he didn't want to go there.
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah.
Bit of
Must be nice to be
What is
able
it?
to play with your draft stock like that.
draft fixing or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, match fixing.
Well, you did land at St Kilda, so we moved on to St Kilda a little bit. You moved to Melbourne, finding your feet. How's St Kilda been going? How have you found it? Early days. You've only been there for a little bit. You haven't had a game yet. We haven't had a trial game.
No.
So how's the process been of starting up at the AFL club? We've spoken so much about the draft process.
Fuck
Yeah.
heaps.
No, absolutely loving it. It's ultra professional. Something I realised, our big days, like our Monday, Wednesdays, and our Fridays, you rock up at the club between like 7 and 8. You've got team meeting, and then main sesh, then into gym. The day is very structured, so you have to stay mentally switched on all day. Like there's no time you could have a bit of fun in the lockers, but it's like you got to be on time. So you find, well, as a first year, and you're not used to it, you're tired, it's hard to like stay mentally present at every situation and not just like tick off for a second. But all the boys have been awesome. Take the piss a bit, and then we're serious. We've got high standards. The club's awesome, coaches are awesome. The move over from Tassie to Melbourne has been pretty much seamless. Like they've made it so easy. So yeah, I'm living life and living the dream. So yeah, absolutely loving it.
Fucking hell.
Are you living with anyone at the moment, or
beautiful.
is it just you?
I was living at the start pre-Chrissy. I don't know how this happened, but I got put in with Jack Steele. So literally before Chrissy, like we had the first 3 weeks there. Like bringing a notepad and stuff. Like he was really helping me out, like cooking me actual proper meals.
Yeah, wow.
And some of the other boys like got put in what's called the Chelt House. So I was a bit lucky. A few of the other boys were with other players as well, but.
What's the Chelt House? It sounds like a school for orphans or something.
Yes. Yeah, so Cheltenham is a suburb like around that area, and there's a house there that they had the previous draft groups from like for the last like 10 years, and they just go into this house and it just rotates like every year.
Do you have to move out by a certain date or something?
I think you can have like 2. It would really depend. Some people stay in there for 5 weeks, hate it, move
Nick
out.
Rewalt's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewalt's just got his 3 kids and his wife just 5-star handball in the background.
I know they
well.
do that at the Gold Coast and GWS, but I didn't think they do it in Melbourne. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then or you can stay there for. Some people don't move out for like 2 years. So right now they've got rid of the Chelt House, and it's now the Hyatt House. So it's me, Liam O'Connell, Angus Hasty, your man.
Oh boy,
What's he like to live with? Because we might get him for a future interview.
Crazy OCD.
I can imagine.
His room is clean all the time. He's got plants in there. You know, he's got his nice curls. He's always touching his hair. But I love living with him. He's a legend of a bloke. Really kind.
$1 million coming to training.
What's Arie like to live
because he
with?
sits in the car and does his hair before he comes out and takes selfies. Just let him know about that if you get him on.
What's Arie like to live with? Is he the opposite? Messy?
No, I'm quite clean as well. I'm just laid back, take the piss a bit. Can't cook, so if I'm hungry, get in there, boys. Kind of thing.
Get in there, you do the stuff, and I'm out here for the crumbs if you need me.
And I'll just clean up and but pretty laid back, pretty chill. I think it'll be quite nice to live with.
Yeah, very nice. Well, you seem to be finding your feet at training and at St Kilda, so much so when it was the first open training session, you came out hitting the gritty to thousands of fans. What was the wind up for that? Were you just feeling yourself for a bit?
No, I would never do that willingly ever. I don't think anyone would.
Srey would.
Srey would definitely do that.
Yeah, mate.
I'll committed goal.
Thanks, Srey.
Someone dare to do it, is that what you're saying?
No, so I said it on a video. I probably shouldn't say it now. So I won't say it actually. But there's the game we play. Can't say the game. There's punishments that come with that. It could be ranging from anything. And I went in and played the game. Hadn't played it since like the first week. Walked in, they needed an extra number. I'm like, yeah, I'm here, boys. Got targeted by all the older boys. Ended up losing all my lives. Punishment was we start in the gym and then we walk out and then we put our shoes down. We walk down the race together. You would have seen if you've seen it before. They pushed me out of the gym door, locked the door, started playing the gritty, just put me out there, and I'm just standing there in front of people, and people, like Arie, and I start to hit the gritty, and it's looked so shit.
Media team loved it though, didn't they?
Yeah,
everyone got around it, but games we play around here, we turn the lights off and play Murder in the Dark, and usually we target Srey, but
we've never played Murder in the Dark.
No, you're asleep normally.
Yeah, you're usually asleep. That's why we target you.
That's not right.
No, that's all right.
Seriously.
Anyway, we're moving on. Arie, we put out a few feelers to our fans. We said we want some questions to ask the big fella himself. So we've got a few here. First one is from Zane Harrington. You have a massive kick. Will we see you bringing back the torp out of defence?
Well, as I said earlier, can't torp. So I'd have to practice. But if
a torp coach.
Yeah, if it came... You know how Zach Tui sometimes just plays on and just bangs it down the middle when there's like...
Just out of the square.
So maybe I've got to start trying to add that to the wheelhouse. Just get it down there. But look, probably not.
You'd have to get that in now because as soon as you get into that AFL system, they're going to ban you from kicking torps. It's a thing. They don't let you kick torps at training. Like they hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to learn if you haven't learned it yet, by age 18, you're fucked. You're not learning
you
it ever.
Can't start now.
So
you
get a kicking coach ASAP into you and learn that torp. Otherwise, you'll never learn it.
I might go to Srey.
Yeah.
You performed. Yeah.
We've seen
Proof's
it.
in the pudding.
We've seen it during cricket season. Players trying to hit the roof with a cricket ball. Do you reckon with Arie's big booming kick, we can get him to hit the roof at Marvel?
Fucking hell. That'd be an effort and a half.
Yeah, it would.
You just like, boys, get in the square and you just fucking kick one up.
We had a all the draftees an induction weekend like last week, and I was on Marvel there, and the roof's really high.
30-something metres,
Like,
which doesn't sound like a lot, but 30 metres high is a lot.
Yeah, so I mean we could give it a go. So I'd be happy. I'd be down to see if we can get that done. But
strings could be.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know if I'd have to say. Someone asked me what I'm doing this weekend. I'm trying to hit the roof at Marvel. Might be a bit.
I think we can get on the St Kilda social media team. Let's get an NFL punter Let's get like
Get Chappie.
the kicking consultant and Chappie
Chappie
from
involved.
Pro Kick and get Arie. And I'm trying to think if Zach Tui would be down, but like who can get
can hit the
closest to
roof,
the roof
yeah.
would be a good video.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Just string awareness would be huge.
Yeah. That whole video is just raising awareness for hamstrings and just all that good stuff.
Next question. JW Gilly 99. I'm a left foot halfback, just like yourself. Have you got any tips for how I can kick further?
Fuck, you're already giving out coaching tips.
Wow. I guess.
Well, there's a YouTube video going around that says Arie Schoenmaker kick 70 metres.
Yeah, I did say that.
So, like,
Popped up a few times.
you're already going into the AFL without playing a game, and everyone knows you're going to have a massive peg on you. So,
Yeah.
the hype is there.
Yeah. I've always been able to kick the ball pretty far, but pretty flat as well. So it's pretty like if you try and kick the ball too hard, it's not going to go very far. So it's just all about just like sweet contact. And also like once I started hitting the gym, like doing leg weights and like obviously all that kind of stuff trains like posterior chain and whatnot. So when you are in that motion of kicking, and all that force is going in the ground, like you're stronger and you actually like, it's like, you know, it comes through like a golf swing. So I guess like just, you know, don't try and kick it too hard. And if you've got stronger, like lower body, then it'll just...
Did you ever do kicking coaching? Did you ever have a coach teach you how to kick or?
Nah, we used to own a bit of land back at home. Like it was like a 5-acre paddock. We used to mow it into a footy oval. And then from the bush, Dad and I and my brother, we get like small sticks, like dead sticks, and then put them up, paint them white as goalposts. And Dad used to just like tick lead back to goal squares, and I'd just run around and he'd just run, and I'd just try and hit him while he was moving. I did that all the way through till I was about like 15. So I guess not really a kicking thing, but Dad was always like
Just having a kick with you and
yeah. And it wasn't just like kick to a standing target. He was always moving. So
One out in the cage, just leading hard.
yeah.
It's a lot of what my pre-season's been targeted at this year. I'm not a key forward, but fuck, I love getting hit on the tits, leading out the goal square. From someone who is trying to learn how to kick further to someone who just wants to know what's your KFC order. Quinn Cody's asking what's your go-to KFC.
Yeah, Zinger box. Always has been,
Standard.
always will be, pretty standard. There's not, and a Mountain Dew freeze. Yeah.
Is that like post-game feed? Is that probably your go-to post-game feed, or is there something else that just sort of ticks the box?
Yeah, pizza. Love pizza. Like at Tassie, like after games, it'd always be just 20 boxes of pizza, and you just go and take one and just eat it. But I haven't had a KFC. You know, like when you get crook and then like spewing sick, and it gets like the third day, and then all you feel like is KFC. You ever like?
Yeah.
Jara-
It's even like
Jared's a menace for KFC.
Yeah,
even
like
to the
when you're
extent like
sick.
a hangover or
Yeah,
whatever.
or
like
when you're
people
hangovers, like you just
crave
feel
the KFC.
Yeah, and that's the only time I've ever eaten it. Like I actually haven't had it since like ages. Like
It's probably why he's in the AFL.
Yeah, it could be.
That's a good
Could
reason.
be.
We rolled a team for 52 on the weekend that we celebrated with KFC just as recovery, but
If you want to go listen to Stumps, I fucked up. I got a chocolate mousse, but then I also had potato and gravy.
oh,
And I ate the chocolate mousse first, and then I had potato and gravy directly after, and then I was very unwell for the next 48 hours.
yeah. If you think about what that looks like in your stomach,
Yeah, well, I
all
just think
mixed
about what
up
it looks
together.
like outside of your stomach, and then just
inside when it's all
Yeah.
churned up.
They
Not
would do
good.
a one-on-one contest in your gut. Like they were just,
Yeah.
the footy's in the
I could
middle,
feel
and they
it.
were just running at
I
it.
could feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last question from the Instagram we'll go through is from Blaze17 YouTube. Have you ever trained to be an NFL punter? Have you ever had correspondence from anyone about being an NFL punter, and would you have any interest in doing that in the future?
Yeah. After this year, some of my coaches always say like a fallback option is getting into punting, and something I'd be keen to do. Like that's all I really do when I play footy anyway. Just run around, get cheapies, and kick the ball as far as I can. So
aha, Jara, yes. He loves it off the halfback.
yeah. So yeah, it's something I'd be keen to do if like it all doesn't go how it goes. But yeah, being a punter is pretty sick. Like if you go far with it, you get paid for literally walking on the field, kicking the thing, and walking back off. So
Don't need to do pre-seasons and running. You just have to do the kicking training.
yeah, and I think Have you seen like the punters, like the NFL punters? They obviously don't move from side to side, like they kick it straight. Well, like the reason why, like from what I've heard anyway, is why Australian footballers are going over there is because like they can obviously kick moving as far, like we drop punts and stuff, so it makes them like a bit of a double threat. So like that's why they keep like targeting Australian.
I feel like as well because of Australian football, you've got that ability to say if you're not going to try and just hang one up in the air, you can like do a short drop punt out to like a certain spot and just literally wheel around and
lay someone out.
Yeah, exactly. Or if like someone's coming at you, like you can kick it around the corner instead of like just walking at them.
It was something they teach you a lot. It was almost falling off his chair.
Holy shit!
Something the kicking coaches were teaching us a little bit was that whip around the side is sometimes helps you distance. I don't know. I haven't seen you kick the footy too much. We'll find out a bit more this season, but. Buddy's a big one. Have you ever seen Buddy kick one from 50 metres plus?
Yeah, and
he winds around in an arc
yeah.
to get the you get more rotation in your hip. So yeah, that's something that gets a bit more distance.
Yeah.
Whereas NFL punters just kick the straight leg up through the ball.
Yeah.
But if you want to kick distance, you got to kick it around a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's all kicking coaching. You got to get the kicking coach so you can learn how to kick a torp.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
We need to I want to see one big juicy torp out of Arie this year. I think surely at some point. There's already been the grittying. There's already been the Fox Footy longest kick. You had a few viral clips. Someone actually sent in and said, how the fuck is this bloke so famous already? He hasn't even played a game.
Yeah.
Because you got highlights. You got clips.
Fucking man.
Yeah.
Because I go to Yochi.
Yes. Good people go to Yochi. Prime Train, Arie, me.
That's horrible.
But surely at some point this year we get a viral clip of you just lacing a 70-metre barrel. So
yeah, hopefully. Probably in the twos playing for Sandy Zebs. Might launch one at
that'd be
Trevor Barker.
Or if you launch it, you might get dropped to the Sandy Zebs. Could be the issue if you launch it in a
yeah, and then it ends up like my longest kick and forward punt. And then Jezza Cameron or someone just marks on the chest, 20 out, straight back over your head. Thanks, mate.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Will's got a segment he wants to bring back.
Thanks, Basil.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to AFL 1170. We've brought it back for the footy season. Now, it is just Dermy by himself, one out in the square, but we're here to tackle the big issues in the AFL. And Arie, I know being a big man, being a famous man, you're going to be amongst a few of these issues. So we're just going to get your insights from Dermy's perspective.
I'm marking this ready.
The main headline... Ressies players across the country celebrate as AFL's deemed player weights won't be disclosed to the public. Skinfold's test to be banished as well. Now, as a Ressies footballer myself, I do enjoy this because it means I can enjoy myself at the buffet a bit more. Check, man, what's your take on this one?
I don't want to participate in this segment. This segment's fucked. I appreciate the voice, but it's I hope this is as far as the Derby voice go. The first time they did this segment, it was like 14 minutes of that voice.
Really?
Fine, I won't do the Derby voice anymore.
You've done the intro as a Derby voice. Congratulations. That was a good Derby voice. Very good.
It was good.
But for the sake of the listeners having to sit through Spotify listening, let's tune back to Will Taylor voice. I like it. I think it's a good decision. I'm just pissing myself that you've lasted that long with the voice.
I could go all day.
For anyone who wants to go listen to episode 1, not many of you, and listen to 14 minutes of Will Taylor putting on that voice.
Yeah.
It's an effort and a half. But, few people across the country that are stoked that they can go into pre-season not having the coach see that they weigh 120 kegs rolling off the full forward. Are you excited about that, going into footy season?
I've never done a pre-season.
Neither, but...
And up until last year, I hadn't trained for 5 years. And then the Today Show came to footy training, so I had to rock up to training.
Yeah.
So that was my first training in 5 years. Because I had generally worked all night times during the week. So I hadn't been to training. Went to one training when I first wrote to the club. Yeah. Said, hey, I can play, but I just can't train. So training's not a thing that's ever crossed my mind.
Fair enough.
Until Jarrah and myself had to start doing some running to head up to Darwin. So... yeah, I don't know where I sit in it because I'm not a training type of man. Arie is, though. He's someone who is running.
I don't know if you have had a say on the weights or not, but what's your opinion on the player weights being shown?
Yeah, I'm a bit on the fence with it. I remember, the footy cards that come out and it's got the player weights and the heights. My brother, massive stats man. So, if you ask him a question about, Dyson Heppel, he'd tell you the height, weight, how many pauses he averaged, all that stuff. So there's actually like footy nuffies out there that like love that shit. And like, you know, when you go to the game and you open up the like footy book, and then you've got the
footy
weights,
record.
the footy record, and there's like all the weights, and so I'm gonna miss all that kind of stuff. Obviously I play in it now, so probably not, but like for younger kids. And then I saw, obviously it's all over social media, I saw a comment that said like kids wanting to get to the next level, and they're trying to look for like what the base is for like height and what they should weigh for that position. And that kind of made sense to me. Like I've always looked at player weights and gone like, yeah, he does what I do on the field. That's what he's weighing at an AFL level. What am I weighing now? What I need to get to?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, so there's that side of me, and then there's the other side, you know, like protect our stuff. Like, does everyone need to know that kind of thing? Like,
yeah, I remember growing up, the footy cards, you'd sit across and you'd play those games. Like, if you had a deck of cards and I had a deck of cards, I'd say, all right, my weight is 97, and if yours was higher or lower, you had like top trumps. You'd have to give me that card, and then you'd get, play off. Yeah. So things like as small as that. But even through high school, being I was tall, potentially, like I was playing ruck as a junior, but you'd always be like, oh, Aaron Sandland's 120 kilos, Dean Brogan 103 kilos, and you'd be like any nuffy, anyone who actually watches the sport could tell like if someone was fat or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you can tell if they're overweight, but you know, like Sandland's a big, thick, tallest bloke in the comp. You're like, all right, well, if I'm going to grow to like 200, I need to put on this much muscle. And exactly like you said, we'd have people like doing that in like year 8, 9, 10 even.
Yeah, there's people that live that stuff. I was even one of those people. Like, I always looked at weights. Like, you know, it's just like a bit of a... And you can compare it to all the players across the comp in the same position. Like, so there's that side of it, so...
I'm a bit... I'd never really sort of thought, like, I need to be this sort of weight, or because... fucking I was never going to get drafted, but like, yeah, I don't really know what to think about it, because I mean there is privacy to it, but at the same time there's that learning, like you said, growing up, trying to get into the system. You're sort of looking for guidelines where to put yourself in those next few months.
Exactly.
We've got another question from a man, Davis from Mount Waverley. Hey Davis, runner tells me to get off the ground, but I'm on the opposite side of the field. What do I do? Thank you, Davis.
Run away is the answer.
I'd probably run as far away from the runner as possible. Pretend like you didn't hear him. Just try and get as close to the ball as you can. If you're playing off the half back and it's on the half forward, get up there. Fuck you, man. Just get all the way up. What about you, Arie?
If I'm on the far wing and the runner comes on and he's screaming from me from the other wing, all I'm saying is I'm trying to get involved in the play, start ball watching, who gives a fuck about my opponent, start running, maybe go play a little bit of midfield time and just tell him when I can, mate, like, yep, coming.
I'll be there.
And send him back, and they usually handle it quite well, yeah, mate, and then...
What if he makes the effort to get across to you on the opposite wing?
You got to go.
I think if he's working his way across...
Do you ever have someone drag you off? I reckon like under 8s, I wouldn't come off. So like, I was playing ruck and I was having a stinker, and maybe I might have chirped up. And I think when you chirp up, that's when you risk yourself to disc. Like if you push a kid over or whatever in junior footy.
Yeah,
and then the runners like grabbed you and said, "No, you're off. Come on," and like walked you off.
Like, you ever been sent off by the umpires?
Yeah.
I've
plenty of
been
times.
Yeah.
But especially in the ruck, you just hit each other in the middle. It's such a common thing. But I remember in juniors, like the runner like linking arms with me and dragging me off the field, being like, "No, you have to," because I wouldn't come off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of like if they say you got to come off, you sort of like, yeah, just after this play, like the ball's coming in, I'm in an important spot, but you know it never nowhere near it.
Yeah, or you can act like you're in an important spot. So if you're playing like spare and the ball's like 40, 50 a kick away, and the runner says, "Yeah, come off, mate," and then you just kind of look like you're like really active on your feet, like waiting for the ball to come, and it's you know it's not.
Because there's nothing worse than you are standing in a prime spot and they're like, "Well, we've got to change the forward pocket rotation." Like, come on, mate. I'm like, fuck. And then you roll out. Then your forward pocket rotation runs in, fills your hole, and then gets a set shot.
Posse.
Yeah.
And everyone's
Nothing
like, "Fuck, man. Great positioning there. Great position. You've run and you've just sat in the hole that I was fucking sitting in, man." That's not like you're not learning anything. You're just copying me. It's fucked.
I want to copy you if that helps.
Fuck. Yeah, it's not much you can do about that. Next one is Sam from Paran. Hi, Sam. Should players get to wear their own kits to games? Talking about, like, wearing casual clothes.
Like
to,
how the NBA do it.
NBA. Like AFLX when they did it like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I reckon you could rock some really rogue kits.
Just
And
worried
it'd be
about the
quite-
sponsors here.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Like, you know, you got your
Well, like,
club sponsors that.
there's plenty of like opportunity for sponsors at training and like in the game. Fuck, a 5-10 minute walk in.
But do you ever, growing up, did you ever get like drummed into you? One of the first things I ever got drummed into me was like, make sure when you run out in the ground, you run out as a team. So
Yeah.
like a coach would blast the fuck out of us if like you ran out and your huddle was too small. Like if we weren't side by side.
Yeah.
And as like an 8 or 9 year old, you're like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Because when you're in 25 and you're running out, you're just running out whenever you're on your own time. But they're trying to like teach that team mentality of like, you're 8, you're 9, everything's done as a team. You all warm
So
up at the
you're
same
all in
time.
the same kit.
Yeah, and I think that is the same thing. That's why at private schools they make them all wear those fancy uniforms and not
Yeah.
tie all so straight, because they want to put a bit of like,
Sends a message too.
yeah,
Like,
sends that
this
that team
is who you
message to
play for.
Yeah,
Like,
bit of pride in the colour. That's what I think footy is about. NBA, it's a very individual. It's a team game, but it's an individual game where like
yeah,
people
absolutely.
get to be a star of the show. But I feel like AFL, you want that like, I could imagine like Ross the boss just being like, nah,
Oh,
you guys are a team.
He'd hate that shit.
Yeah,
But like
Act like
training
one.
day, you can. A lot of the AFL boys at Saints are like pretty into their fashion. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's quite a recurring theme in the AFL. Like, there's a few boys that love their kits. So like training day, you can have a little bit of a fashion show. So who's rocking up in the nicest kits? Who's got the shoes on? But game day, I don't know if there'd be any point. I kind of like rocking up in the training kit, like the polo, maybe the hoodie, like
Slacks.
just feel,
Looking at Srey
yeah,
here.
maybe it feels like you just, as you
I've
said,
never
together.
wear slacks.
Srey would refuse. He'd wear Crocs, tracksuit pants, and sometimes he'd never even wear the club polo or club colours. And
Oh,
I had
really?
spare kit. I was
Wow.
giving to him, being like, wear slacks, wear the polo. Come on, man, because that was something we got drilled into us early days. Was like when you're growing up and coming through the system, like coming through like 14s, 16s. They're like, you have to wear all this stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
team mentality.
It just looks good as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
It sets an example to the opposition. If you rock up and your team's all sloppy and all random kit, and you're rocking up as like a 14-year-old kid, and the opposition are all wearing slacks, polos, running out tight as a team, and your team's just like warming up all
Just
over the shop,
sets
it
the
makes you
tone.
feel like shit. You're
Yeah.
like, we're gonna get rolled today. So, yeah, I think that team mentality is crazy. I've seen the Saints boys rock the Carlton draft merch a little bit.
Yeah, that merch gets around a fair bit.
Just the cartoons on the t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
There's
I've seen
good,
it. Yeah, I've
few
seen
good
a fair
kids
few of
getting
that.
around the Saints.
Yeah.
Might have to get a Arie Schoenmaker team made.
And he's kick a 70-metre twarp, and then we can do
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
We need a big 70-metre barrel, and then we can get Robbo to really work his magic. Sam from Paran has got 2 more questions for us. Fuck, he was
Christ.
pretty keen to hit us up.
Is this Sam Bonza?
Yeah, Sam's keen.
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
It is Sam Bonza. Should players do post-game presses? What are your thoughts?
They're going to
on
have to this year.
this,
Have you seen the new
Arie?
deals?
Oh, they actually.
Yeah, the players have to do give a certain amount of hours of time each week now. It's
Oh, yeah,
cooked.
it's to media.
Yeah, which I'm hoping.
Yeah, because
I-
some people just excuse it completely and
yeah,
walk off.
Well, I know from making content purposes, sometimes there'll be players you just can't touch.
yeah.
Because they'll be like, nah, like that guy just doesn't do media. But then this year, the AFL's made it like a part of the bargaining agreement is all players have to
right.
be accessible for media straight after the game and within 3 days of the game, I think it is. It's like you could not even play, but you have to rock up to a presser within 72 hours
Yeah.
if you get called to one.
I guess if you look at say Jack Steele does a presser with Ross, you've got Ross who's coaching the team, who's giving insight about how the game went, and then you've got Jack Steele who played the game, who's out there, can if the media wants to ask him questions like what was it like out there, he can give a little bit more of a detailed intel. So I quite like it. I like how the NBA do it. I see LeBron up there all the time, making weird comments. It'd be pretty funny if some of the boys started doing it and then having a crack at the.
Well, I wonder
the
if
journalists
it's
as
come
well.
I'd
from-
love to see another Bevo. Just have a dig at a journo who's just a smug little fuckwit.
Well, there is a journo that comes in here a lot to record, and I know that he's been early days. Everyone's about him, but lately he's been getting shunned a lot, and that's BT. Roman BT. There's a lot of people that just don't give him the time of day,
Yeah.
and I guess that could be classified as media and presser. Channel 7, obviously, a big part of the bargaining agreement. I wonder if that's come into it, and whether clubs obviously you have to do a presser and you sit in front of all the journos, Tom Morris and whoever else, giving you questions. But BTs, content creators, AFL, even doing like little Instagram stories and stuff could come under that banner.
Yeah.
And you find yourself in the room with like 700 people putting phones in your face after the game.
Yeah, there's that side of it as well. So
if Romy BT hit you up, would you jump on?
Well, yeah, I don't really have, like, if it was my first game, like, I can't really say, yeah, I can't be touched by the media. I'd 100% do it. I quite like roaming BT.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be pretty funny. Like,
It's a bit goofy. Like, it
is goofy. Sometimes it gets annoying when you're watching it, like, fuck off, BT.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
But it's part of the fun, and it gives it, like, kids love it.
The issue is when, like, people are with their family and they talk, like, say...
And he pulls them out, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So say, like, you have a port, but you're from WA and you play in WA and you win. You're talking to your family about the win and BT wants to have a chat to you, like...
But you know it's only going to be, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like...
Prime example, Xavier Dersmer and his missus from high school.
Yeah.
Shit,
that was a funny one. One that resonates in my head was BT talking to all the jacks at St Kilda.
Yeah, that was rare. Yeah. That was so rare.
That was one of the better BTs where he was finding all the jacks and getting them all collected in the post-game huddle.
Yeah.
Because there was like 8 or 9 of them playing. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Xavier Dersmer, that comes to me right away. Like, just trying to chat to his missus. Then yeah, gets a bit weird, doesn't it?
Don't bring the miss out of the post-game presser. Or to the game.
Why are we looking at Srey again?
I don't do post-game presses, man.
I didn't look at you, did I?
You could actually reenact that with his missus. Like, exactly that scene. After a game.
Why is he gone so red right now?
Fuck, he's
It's hot.
We're gonna get Arie to do a few media ideas.
Like, you're BT and you just come in and...
Or we just get actual BT to come in.
Yeah, there you go.
He was in the studio the other day.
I did say that.
We might have to wheel him up
We'll
again.
tee it up.
I think he was in the studio today. He was in here before us.
All right, Sam from Paran's last question, and it's the last question we'll ask. Why can't we do a state of origin and connect it to charity? So bring back the Vics versus the Allies versus WA. Maybe even slip in the Tassie team.
Tassie team might get pumped.
Get rid of the Allies.
We'll get pumped, but yeah.
But it'd be good fun.
So sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon, like, not mid-season, but, like, end of season, post-season.
Just worry about the injuries is always the biggest. I think everyone's so keen for it.
Fuck the injuries.
I think players are keen for it. Fans are keen for it. Sponsors are keen for it. But the thing is, like, you're paying some players $1 million a year. And if they go play
in a game,
in a charity game,
yeah.
like, have you anyone at the club spoken to you about what you're allowed to do outside of footy? Are you allowed to like go play cricket? Are you allowed to go roller skating? Because I know some players are on massive bans for certain things.
Yeah, well, I know like some players that love water skiing. Like, there's a few that love water sports, and they go out and they obviously fall off and like breaking up and stuff. So there is like regulations on it, like. And I think, like, anyone that's smart enough, if you've got a big training session or a big game coming up, you're probably not going to go do water skiing. But, like, some people are different. So, yeah. So, I don't know.
The injury factor. Because that's what ruined the Irish versus the Australian team at the end of the year.
Yeah, but it would be so sick if they brought back, like, I remember the bushfire game. Like, that was, watching that was just, like,
All-Stars
elite.
versus Victoria, and they packed out, they packed out Marvel. Like, that was unreal.
Don't they do it in American sports? And then there's been the occasional incident where one of the biggest stars of the comp's gone down with an injury. Like, imagine Dusty Martin doing an ACL in a charity game or something.
Yeah.
They don't play so
In the
NBA one is
in
really
the All-Star
quiet.
games for NBA, they don't go as hard.
And the NFL one, they play flag football now instead of tackle.
Yeah, well, that would make a lot of... So the NBA, like, it's not really like a sport where there's, like, much contact injury.
So
and they play so often. But, yeah, I just worry about footy. Like, you'd hate to be... Trying to think of a player that's so pivotal to a club's success. Like, imagine Max Gorn.
Imagine Marcus Bontempelli.
Yeah, like the bond goes down.
Yeah.
From
Max
doing
King
his
at St
ACL.
Kilda, and, you're just like, shit.
There goes our legendary forward.
Yeah. It's just a risky run.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it would be sick. Like, fans wise, supporters, like all the old fans, like what footy used to be like.
They're moving a lot into, like, the juniors and the state leagues doing that, though.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like those junior rivalries have become. They're trying to because that's where they can get away with it. Those kids need to get spotlight on them. So it's probably smarter. They're the ones who have to get games into them. So let's put them on the spotlight. But you can't put Gorney and Max King out there for another game.
Yeah. I think the best thing they ever did was bringing the Allies and the Vics and everything into the spotlight a bit more, and like putting it on TV, like Baseline as well with like private school football, like just fucking drums
Makes
up.
it massive.
Yeah, drums up heaps of noise. And
Who'd
like,
be at Tassie? You'd be in with a few of the recent ones, but who's someone that, trying to think? Mitch Robinson, would he come out of
Sanders.
retirement to coach or anything like that?
Sanders, McKercher, yourself.
Taron Thomas, Chase Jones.
We'd 100% all go back.
Yeah.
No,
Benny Brown.
There's big names there.
Yeah.
I don't know Mitch Robertson, like, watching his vlogs, he's always spoke about going home. He has gone home. He's playing for Lauderdale. They've got Sam Siggins there as well, who played for Geelong. And who's the guy that... Andrew Phillips from Essendon, the ruckman.
Yeah.
So they've just
Flip.
doshed up. So Lauderdale, who are from the south, they've just gone like massive on contracts. So, and Tassie footy down there, like if you play AFL and you're from Tassie, like you go back, and you've proved yourself like Mitch Robinson. Like you're pretty much royalty. Like kids like love it, and like so, yeah.
So they're going to roll out the red carpet for you when you come in.
No,
and
not
jet
me.
stuff like.
Once he kicks a 70-metre barrel.
Yeah.
Once I hit the roof at Marvel.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm waiting for that day. That'll be so much fun. Unfortunately, that's all the time we've got left for the pod this week. Checkman, have you got anything spicy coming up this week?
Spicy. Jarrah and myself are going running, man. We're doing lots of running. If you want to come.
That's really spicy.
Srey, if you want to come running. Didn't really get much response.
Still unwell.
He's been unwell for 6 years.
No, if I wasn't sick, I'd maybe come for a quick light jog, but I'm not well.
Fair enough.
We're going to do some running. We're going to Darwin. I've got to get fit. My knees are the same shape as trying to think. BT's probably got better knees than me right now. So.
Jeez. We were going to bring Jarrah on to have a really good one-to-one exclusive interview, but we'll save it for next week. Big fella. We'll sit you down next week. And
the
have
podcast is in doubt next week because we've got our first pre-season footy training of the year.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
Wow.
excited.
We might have to
Do some
do.
reshuffling.
That's big.
Might have to do like a live episode, and I'll just have the mic during lane kicking. And
Just you heavily breathing.
yeah, just me now.
Just blowing up.
Yeah, blowing up. Ari, thank you so much for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time out of your very busy schedule, like you was saying before. But all the best for the rest of the season, and looking forward to seeing that 70-metre tall.
Yeah.
And hitting the roof of Marvel and some Yochi Instagram stories.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got to do a
We've
Yochi
got
day
so
with
much,
Ari.
haven't we? We've
Yeah, it's a
come
bit-
up with a bit like
booked in. So
Yeah.
we're going to come down to open training soon. I already interviewed you at open training this year. I don't want to bombard you too much. Who do you reckon we should hit up if we go down to the next one? Last question before we go. Who should
Stocker
we-
gave us nothing, and I'm
Last
flat
time,
about
he
it.
messaged me
man.
after. He goes, I didn't
Flat.
see you. But he definitely looked me in the eyes and then just dogged me. Just like, I don't want to be
I'm
on
so
camera.
flat.
So who should we be targeting at this training? I wanna
Lance
hit-
Collard.
All right,
Lancey
sweet. What should we
Collard.
ask him? What do we
Lancey
need
boy
to-
Collard.
Yeah.
Just hit him with some like he'll love it. Like loves the camera.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Done.
Here
All
we
right.
go.
He'll be great. He'll be a bit quiet, but once you get him like, he'll be good.
Get
I want
under
to see him on the camera.
Yeah,
All right. I'll tell
beautiful.
him that Ari said that he was the messiest man at St Kilda or something, and
Yeah, say that.
Really throw him under the bus.
yeah.
Throw him under completely.
All right. Well, we'll be targeting him at the next open training. Good luck with the rest of the season. We'll be at the games, pretty much all of them. We'll be at trainings. You'll be sick of us pretty soon. But thanks for
Yeah.
coming on the pod before you get to that point.
No, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
See, Ochi.
Thank you.
I was
again.
gonna say.
Yeah, mate. Fucking strawberries and cream, strawberries, blueberries.
Oh,
They've got fortune cookies there now as well, so we can do a few of them live on TikTok live or something.
I won't do it with you.
All right, Shrey's not invited. Thanks again for listening to the pod, guys. Make sure you follow on Spotify. Keep in the 5 stars. I like it when we get the 5-star ratings. Keeps me happy. Keeps the bosses higher up happy. Subscribe to the YouTube. Share it with your friends. Like it, and see you in the next episode. Love yous.